Hey y'all, I want to speak to the person who is an overachiever, people pleaser. I want to make sure everybody got what they need. You are the person that wants to be everything to everyone. And it's because you know what it feels like to feel like nobody is there for you. So you never want to be the person that abandons someone else, that leaves someone else high and dry. You want to be the person who saves everybody. Alexa, stop. Let me get this sounding. You want to be the person that saves everybody. All I'm going to say is, child, you are me and I am you. And I am being called, listen, to invite us into an era that is completely opposite. Ooh, sizzling. Completely opposite of what I'm seeing on YouTube right now. So I'm seeing a lot of like exit lazy girl era, enter into discipline era. Like I feel God actually calling us into our lazy girl era with him. That he's saying, you are doing the most right now. And I know you're trying to be like me by doing all of these things for my good, for my children. But in the midst of it, you're losing yourself. And you're not listening to me. You're not taking moments to pause and actually make sure that the direction that you're moving in is in alignment with my will. And so lazy girl era is being reinvented in this space. Lazy girl era is when you get to wake up in the morning, when you feel called to wake up, and that you get to say, God, what are we doing today? God, who are we going to pour into today? God, how are you going to pour into me and fortify me today? Where do I need to go? That's lazy girl era. Lazy girl era is being able to pause, cancel all of your meetings, and say, Lord, I'm just going to be with you. I'm going to invite you into my day, into this moment, into my heart. God, give me what you want me to have. And maybe it's not even to share it with anyone else, but just because I want to be with you and receive you. It's being able to share the gifts that God has given you specifically in a way that magnifies his name and glorifies him. That's lazy girl era with God. So I think it's important for us to recognize that like capitalism is seeping into our Christianity. It's causing us to work hard and grind for God when he ain't never called us to do that. He ain't never said, oh yeah, y'all, I want you to work to the bone for my will. I don't remember that being in scripture. But so often aspects of culture and conditioning that we receive become a part of how we move toward God. And lately, this has been made like super clear after Wednesday having 5 Zoom calls with 30 minutes in between them and realizing, wow, I'm giving so much to people, but I'm finding myself feeling depleted. I am depleted. I is tired. And I'm like, that's so many of us right now. In the midst of trying to do the thing, in the midst of trying to share an offer, in the midst of trying to grow the business, in the midst of trying to build this ministry, you're tiring yourself out. And so you often say, I'm being lazy as this negative thing. As a Black person, we're often said that we're lazy when we're actually just resting because we're tired, because we've been working for centuries, overworking for centuries, and been taught that we always have to work 10 times as hard. And so the moment we sit still, it feels foreign. It feels wrong. It feels like I should be doing something. Actually, what if you invited God in? What if you took a moment to pause and say, God, I've been doing a lot. I'm going to draw a circle and I'm going to just write down, God, everything that's been on my mind, everything that I've been focusing my attention on. You tell me what you want me to focus on. You tell me what I am just wasting my time on. And to draw your attention to all that God is actually calling you to do. To say yes courageously to what God is moving you toward. And all those other things you're draining your energy on, to be like, Lord, I can put that down. I'm calling that lazy girl era. Because I have to say, it is so easeful being in flow with God. It doesn't feel like It's discipline. Like, I read my Bible every morning and night. It's discipline, but it doesn't feel like the discipline that I hear about. Like, the way I hear discipline is like, you do this, pop, pop. It's almost like machine, routine. And it's like, I don't want to spend time with God just because it's a part of my routine. I want to spend time with God because it's in my heart to. I don't want to go the next day without starting my day with you, God. I don't. And so that's what I'm like, yes, lazy girl era is like, we are just floating on water. God is moving us gracefully, and we are just moving in whatever direction he's calling us into. It's not us on a boat, like, all right, we got to keep rowing 10 times harder. Like, I just don't feel that. And every time I actually rest, God blows my mind. He blows my mind. He reminds me that when I listen and do, it's enough. When you are listening and doing, it's enough. And so if God is not telling you something specifically to do right now, but you're busying yourself, I want to invite you to pause. Say, God, I invite you in. What are you calling me to do or not do? I'm not going to lie. I postponed my masterclass because I found myself depleted, and I don't want to do anything if I'm not energized and excited about what God is doing. And I felt myself like, oh, Lord, I don't want to promote this. Lord, I don't. Like, God, I don't have the energy. And he's like, I told you to do it. I didn't tell you you had to do it immediately. I told myself I needed to do it immediately. I said, okay, God, give me a thing, let's go. Because I learned that as this overachiever person who has to do the things, that I have to always know. God is like, it will be done. Rest, spend time with me. Go for walks with me. Spend more time in the Word. Connect with people who make you feel even more anchored in me, who fortify you. Come together, collaborate, lighten your load. Give me some of what you're carrying. God is inviting you to give him some of what you're carrying so that you are not entering into this era working 10 times hard when he is like, I'm going to give you the instructions. I'm going to give you clear direction. I'm going to energize you and fuel you up. But I need you to be still enough to hear me when I say go. To be still enough to get those directions when I'm ready to give them to you. So hashtag lazy girl era. and also, you don't have to reinvent yourself. You need to remember who you are and whose you are. There's no more work to be done. It is actually pausing and being still. It is healing. And it's spending time and inviting God in. So, I might be stepping on some toes, but I hope that you receive it and you ask God to reveal to you what he wants you to know as it relates to this, as it relates to the pace that you're moving at. Okay? I'm going to get into this salmon. Y'all are probably like, girl, you eat salmon all the time. I do. It's so easy to make. But anyways, I will see y'all soon. Peace.